What is up, guys? Johnny01 here with another FIFA 18 formation guide. This one's going to be dealing with what, in my opinion, is one of the best attacking formations in FIFA 18, the 3-5-2 formation. But in order for you to be successful with this formation, make sure you're a good defender and you feel really comfortable with your defense, because it could be lacking in that area. But as always, guys, make sure to check out all my previous tutorials if you have not done so already. Got tutorials with everything in FIFA 18 included, attacking, defending, passing, you name it, I got it. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future ones. Alright guys, let's start off with the best instructions and the ideal players for this formation. For the center backs, guys, always make sure to leave it as stay back while attacking. Leave it on the default instructions, and it's very important. I can't stress this enough. These center backs have to be like your best players. They need to be at least 70 pace and at least 85 defending. If you do not have good center backs, do not use this formation. It could lead you extremely vulnerable to an attack and can make them score a ton of goals. So if you don't feel comfortable with your defense or with your players, make sure not to use this formation. Next up, we got the center defensive mid, and once again, very important position if this formation is going to be successful for you. You want to tell them to cut passing lanes and stay back while attacking, and again, you got to have two really good center defensive mids that have good defending stats as well as good pace. So at least 70 defending and at least 70 pace. These guys should really help out those center backs. If you want to even be a little bit more defensive, have at least one of them be around 80 defense. So he's a real good center defensive mid. His purpose is just for defense, not really for the attack. And then you can have another one that's more of an all-around center midfielder. But it depends how comfortable you are with your defense and with your center backs and your own defending skills. Next up, we get the left mid and the right mid position. The only thing I tell them to do is to cut inside. If you feel really comfortable with your defense, with your center defensive mids and your center backs, you can tell them to stay forward, but really just tell them to cut inside so they make those runs to the inside and help out your strikers, which are going to be the main part of your attack. These guys, of course, you want to have them to be pretty pacey because they're going to be pretty far back, so you want them to be pretty pacey and pretty good dribbling stats to help out in your attack. Next, we got the center attacking mid, guys, and I just leave it at default. Again, like I said with the left mid and the right mid, if you feel really comfortable with your CDMs and your center backs, you can tell him to stay forward, but really, I just leave him at the default instructions. Make sure this guy has good passing abilities and good dribbling. Lastly, guys, one of the great part about this formation, it's got two strikers. What I usually like to do, both of them tell them to stay central and both of them press back line, so they put a little bit of pressure against those defenders to get the ball back for an easy goal. But now, the faster one of the two players, the one that you feel more pacey, if you have one that's like more pacey of a striker, you can tell him to get in behind, while the other player that's more of a passer, that's more of a bigger, slower player, you can tell him to be the target man and run your offense through him and then look for the other strikers to be making those runs. But again, you can mix with that however you want. If you want both of them to be target man or both of them to get in behind, if you think they're both really pacey players, you can do that as well. You can play around with that to fit your play style. For these players, you want them to be good overall players. Very important that these players have good shooting stats, that these players have good dribbling stats. Most of your goals are going to come from these two players. Most of your offense is going to run through these two players. Pros and the cons of this formation, guys. Of course, the pro is the attacking ability. So many different attackers, left mid, right mid, center attacking mid, strikers, and even your CDMs could help you out in your attack. Extremely good. Of course, that leads to the con, which is the defense. If you don't have really good center backs, if you don't have really good center defensive mids, and you don't feel comfortable with your defending skills in FIFA 18, this could be a serious problem. I also am not the best with the space, and I don't really like the left mid and the right mid. Usually in FIFA 18, they just feel so far out of play and really tough to get you involved in the attack. But other great pros, guys, the strikers, having two strikers is huge for your attack, allowing you to really mix and match. It allows you also to play through the middle as well as play through the outside, so it's really balanced in that situation. So you can really put a lot of different attacking strategies into this team. How to use this, guys? Very simple. You want to attack usually through the middle and use those strikers. That's the ones that you want to attack with. Get the ball to those strikers. Look for those left mid and right mids to be making those runs to the inside, and look for the other striker to be making some runs. Use that center attacking mid as the one that connects the defense to those strikers. And of course, on defense, very important, constantly switching over to your center defensive mids and to your center backs and pushing them back and keep making sure they're in their lanes. Very important that you're constantly pushing them back so you can't be vulnerable to the counterattack. Definitely recommend this formation for anyone who's really comfortable with defending in FIFA 18 and wants to score a ton of goals. Really, really good for attacking. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you a few examples of me using this formation in game, showing you exactly what you should be doing. First of all, with defense, constantly be making sure to push your players back, using your center defensive mids, using your center backs, and making sure they're still in their lanes and just cutting off those passing lanes, making sure to jockey, making sure to be patient. You do not want to be too aggressive with those center backs, with those center defensive mids, especially with this formation, because there's just not that many of them. You don't have those 4 backs, you don't have all these players, so you have to make sure that they stay back, because if you do, if you play this correctly, this formation could feel like a 5-back formation, because those center defensive mids and those center backs are always back, they're always protecting the goal, and you can make them really, really feel overpowered as well, not just with the attack, but with the defense. And then of course, with the attack, try to get those strikers involved. Those are the ones that are going to score most of the goals in this game. Try to do a nice little 2-man game with them, get the ball to one striker, look for the other strikers to be making runs. That's what you should constantly be looking for, and of course, be unpredictable. Sometimes go in from the outside, sometimes do more skill moves, sometimes attack to the middle, slow attack, fast attack. Never do the same type of attack, but constantly be looking to get those strikers involved, get that center attacking mid to do a nice link up when you want to do possession football, get the ball from the center defensive mids to those strikers, to those left mids, to those right mids, through your center attacking mid, and constantly be looking for those runs. The left mid and right mid is going to cut inside, and that other striker is going to be making runs towards the goal. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys liked this. If you did, please like, comment, share with all your friends. Click on one of these playlists to check out some of my other videos. The rest of my tutorials got tutorials with everything in FIFA 18. Top 5 videos of my top 5 skill moves, my formation guides, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future ones. Thank you guys so much.